So you're thinking about moving to Panama City Beach? In today's video, we're going to be going over the pros and the cons, the goods and the bads, the ups, the downs, everything that you need to know about living here in Panama City Beach. So stick with me to the end because I'm going to go over the best kept secret about living here in Panama City Beach. And we're about to get after it right now. First time to the channel and you're looking for everything you need to know about living in Panama City Beach, or 30A, then make sure to subscribe below and hit the bell for notifications so that you are the first to know about the current market here in Panama City Beach. My name is Clark and I get calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you who are looking for help on making their move to Panama City Beach. So if you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. All the information's in the description below so that I can help you make a smooth move here to Panama City Beach. Welcome to the world's most beautiful beaches. Alright, you can't have a pros and cons video about Panama City Beach without talking about the world's most beautiful beaches. So, number one on the list has got to be the beach. Okay, the crystal quartz sand that comes from Apalachicola, comes down through the river from the Appalachian Mountains. There's just something about it, the way that it comes between your toes when you're walking and it squeaks, the sand squeaks. If you've been to the Atlantic, you get the hard, sharp shells that make up the beach. That is absolutely not the case here. I'm lucky enough to have lived all over the world, and there's just nowhere like the beaches here in Panama City Beach. The crowds that do come during season, everyone tends to be so considerate on the beach here. You don't get people just walking all over you. I've never had an issue with theft or anything like that here. It seems like everybody is really considerate about sharing the beach and just having a good time while they're here. One thing about the beach also is what we're known for as being the Emerald Coast, and that's because of the algae blooms that bloom in the water here. It just turns this like aquamarine, almost emerald color, and so that's kind of where we get our what we're known for here. So I'd have to say number one is our beaches here in Panama City Beach. Number two on the list definitely has to be the outdoor activities and events that you can do here in Panama City Beach. Whether it's scuba diving, snorkeling, fishing, hiking on the trails at the conservation park, going up to the springs to go swimming, or paddling, paddleboarding, kayaking, going out to the lake, on the bay. There's just an endless amount of things that you could do here in Panama City Beach that a lot of times don't cost anything, because you can go to the beach, you can go to the lake, you can go to the springs. But there are things that you can pay for, like fishing charters and scuba diving and stuff like that. And another thing that I would have to talk about is the events that go on. So you've got Jeep Jam, you've got Thunder Beach, you've got Ironmans, you have Oktoberfest, you got tons of things as well as concerts and events that you just have an endless amount of activities that you can be doing in your spare time. If you don't have something to do, just look it up. The city's pretty good at promoting those things so that you know what is going on, when it's going on, where it's going on, and make sure you get out there and you can be a part of the community. Number three on the list, I'm gonna have to say, is that you get a little bit of a mixed bag in terms of being big city versus small town feel. Depending on which one you're looking at, you could see it as a pro or a con. I see it as a pro because you get a mix of both. The small town feel in the wintertime, there's only 18,000 full-time residents here in Panama City Beach. So if you're going to the gym and going to the same restaurants and the same bars and the same place on the beach, you're gonna run into the same people, which I really enjoy. I'm a people person, so I love being able to see and build relationships with people. And then in the summertime, you're gonna get the bigger crowds, you're gonna get a lot of traffic, lots of events, lots of stuff going on. So depending on what you're looking for, it could be a con, it could be a pro. For me, it's definitely a pro. You get the best of both worlds. So that's number three, kind of the mixed bag of big city versus small town. Number four on the list, I would have to say, is the weather. Okay, I come from the Midwest. I come from Kansas City, where you get all four seasons, sometimes all on the same day. You never really know what you're gonna get. Whereas here in Panama City Beach, especially I would say the fall and the spring are just paradise here. The tourism has died down or it hasn't ramped up yet. And it's just a solid between 60 and like 85 degrees on any given day, and it is just beautiful. You can go sit on the beach and not have to worry about having a sunshade. You can go sit on a patio and eat your lunch without sweating half your body weight off, not having to worry about having all your sweat stains everywhere. So spring, fall, paradise. In terms of our winter time, that's actually my favorite time of the year, and I think that's probably because it's a lot like fall in the Midwest, where you get to wear your hoodies and your sweatpants, except it's not so cold that you're doing it out of necessity. You get to wear them because they're comfy, and you wake up in the morning and it's about 40-ish degrees, and then by 11 o'clock it's mid-50s, and you can take your sweatshirt off, and it is just really, really nice without having to scrape your windshield, shovel your driveways, do all the things, put salt out, all that different stuff you don't have to worry about here, which is so, so nice. I will say that in the summertime, June, July, August, it is hot. It is spicy, caliente, hot. Okay, so it's gonna be humid, depending on if it rains especially. So definitely look forward to that. Make sure that your air conditioning is running. You don't want that to go out in your car or at your house. Make sure you got that going because you're gonna need it. And yeah. All right, rounding out the list at number 5 of pros is I'd have to say is the food. Of course, you have all your normal restaurants that you can find everywhere, your McDonald's and your Taco Bell and all your fast food. But because you live in a touristy place, you're gonna get all of those specialty restaurants and that specialty food that you don't get everywhere. As well as a lot of local spots that are owned and operated by locals that are a little bit smaller. And it's just really, really cool getting to venture out and try the different cultural foods, the different food from all over the world, because we have a lot of international people that move here, that you get to try that stuff. So go on out, try something new, talk to someone new, get a new experience. That's all I got to say about that. All right, so our list of cons, number 1 is gonna have to be the tourism. I will say the benefit to that though is it's only about 4 months out of the year. The rest of the time it's not too terrible, but those 4 months can be kind of brutal in terms of traffic, in terms of wait times at restaurants. Walmart can be a major struggle during tourist season. I try not even to go to Walmart during this time. I usually go into town, I go over the bridge, go to Sam's Club, go to Walmart over there if I have to. I try just to stay out of Walmart, just save myself the headache. I will also say that they have lots of events and stuff, which are really cool to have. But if you have to get anywhere near those events, near Frank Brown Park or near Pier Park or the Publix complex, down the East End, when there's sports tournaments and stuff like that, it can really, really build up and back up, and it can just be kind of annoying. But it's all worth it in the end when you get to the end of September and you go out to the beach and there is no one for about 200 yards on either side of you. You remember, yeah, this is pretty nice. It can be a lot worse. I'd have to say that the tourism traffic can definitely be a struggle. Number 2 on the list of cons would have to be hurricanes. Because you live in the Gulf, you do get those wraparound hurricanes that come in and just can be devastating. Back in 2018, Panama City got hit really, really, really hard by Hurricane Michael. And through that disaster, I will say that the city really rallied and almost got better and grew together, and it brought everyone together. Even though you go through those tough times, it can be a benefit also to bring everyone together. But that's definitely a negative that you have to think about in terms of physical safety, but also a little bit of a mental thing of just knowing that at any point, yeah. I will say one kind of funny thing that people told me when we moved here is that you really have to worry when Waffle House shuts down. There is tons of Waffle Houses here in Panama City Beach, and they are open all the time, They said that only when Waffle House closes down is when you should really worry. And lo and behold, about 4 months after I moved here, we had a tropical storm come, and Waffle House stayed open the entire time, even with the like 60, 70 mile an hour winds that were pretty terrifying, along with the wind, or along with the rain that was blowing completely sideways. All right, so number 3 and number 4 kind of go together. Number 3, I would have to say, is the proximity to any major large cities. You don't really have any. You have Panama City, Panama City Beach, 30A, Destin, which kind of all flows together, but there's nothing that's really like a major city. The closest one you're going to get is going to be Montgomery, which is about 3 hours away. But other than that, you got to go 4+ hours to get to New Orleans, get to Atlanta, get to Orlando, Tampa. Miami's like 9 hours away. That's kind of could be a negative for you if you do like taking little like day trips to the city, or just being around that kind of life. It's just, there's not really anything in super close proximity to us. And with that, number 4, I would say, is there's not really a major airport here. There is an airport here in Panama City Beach, right outside, just north of the beach. Other than that, you can go to Destin. Fort Walton is about 2 hours, depending on traffic and the time of the year. Neither one of those are really like a major airport. The one here in Panama City Beach is definitely growing, as they're adding terminals and new airlines and stuff like that. But it's just not quite there yet, and it's definitely on its way though. So I think that although it is a con not having one right here, there's kind of sunshine on the horizon of what we are looking forward to. And that's a good thing, because growth is definitely happening here and it needs to grow with it. I will say that that is probably a con for me, because I like to travel and stuff like that. So it's tough not having a big major international airport that I could get in and out of. Number 5, probably the roughest one going through your head. It's gotta be what he's gonna say: spring break in Panama City Beach. The MTV, the crazy stages, all the rowdy college kids. So back in, I think it was 2019, they implemented some new legislation here in Panama City Beach that no alcohol is allowed on the beach in the entire month of March, as well as a few other smaller things that they did. And that has really turned Panama City Beach into a more year-round, family-friendly destination. So instead of having that month of just craziness, you get it spread out a lot more, which is fantastic for the economy here in Panama City Beach, because you get families here that are going to be spending more money, that are going to help stimulate the economy more, instead of a bunch of college kids that are here to kind of cause chaos and just be free for a week. So although it's a con, because you do have spring break still, I would honestly look at it a little bit as a pro, because of all the new legislation, the new things that they're implementing is making it more of a family destination place. And those are the more people that you have to deal with, which are a lot more respectful more often than not. And it's kind of either way you gotta take it, depending on what you're wanting and looking for. So I would have to say that's gonna be rounding out the list at number 5 of cons about living in Panama City Beach. All right, so your extra secret 6th pro about living here in Panama City Beach is, I would have to say, are the springs just north of the beach. It's only about 20, 30 minutes north of the beach, but you've got Vortex, Econfina, Cypress, tons of different springs that you can go to. All are very family friendly. Some you have to paddleboard, take a boat, take a kayak to get into. But there are some that you can drive up to. It's more like a park, and they have inflatables, and they've got slides and swings and rope swings into the water, and snorkeling and scuba diving and anything that you can want to do in the springs. They've got those there. But it's just beautiful going out, being around everybody in nature, cooking hamburgers, hot dogs, listening to music, being with your friends. It's just a great time, and I would highly recommend it. So Rounding out our list is the springs here in Panama City Beach. Make sure to remember, if you are moving in 9 days or 90 days, make sure and give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. All the information is in the description below so that I can help you make a smooth move here to Panama City Beach. Remember, welcome to the world's most beautiful beaches. I'll see you next time.